Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, my esteemed judges, and my fellow competitors. My name is Pipat Perayawatana from Assumption Convent Lumnarai School in Lumnarai. Today, I will present to you the importance of global communication skills. The perennial challenge facing the entire world's countries, regardless of their local economic development, is achieving financial stability, economic growth, and higher living standards. There are many different paths that could be taken to achieve these objectives, and every country's path will be different, given the distinctive nature of the national economies and political system. Perhaps, more importantly, globalization implies that information and knowledge get dispersed and shared. Innovators, be they in business, education, or government, can draw on ideas that have been successfully implemented in one jurisdiction and tailor them to suit their own jurisdiction. Evidently, the emergence of global market and broader access to a wide variety of products for consumers, companies, and some international lending companies for better access to foreign borrowers are some features of globalization. Furthermore, in the job market, employees compete indirectly in the global job market. With the arrival of modern age and improvements in communication, wages are less dependent on the success or failure of the individual's economies. Survival in the global business market calls for improved productivity and increased competition. In politics, the state loses power of policy making and thus sovereignty. Increasing information flows between geographically remote locations with the introduction of the fiber optic communications, satellites, and the increased availability of telephone and internet. The dawn of the global environmental challenges that might be solved with international cooperation, since with the absence of the environmental regulation, globalization might increase the pollution or impact on freshwater resources. Growth of cross-cultural contacts to enjoy foreign products and ideas, adopt new technologies and practices. The growth of cross-cultural contacts to enjoy foreign products and ideas, adopt new technology and practices. Worldwide fairs and pop cultures like cartoon characters, songs and series, such as the increasing popularity of Korean songs and TV series, and even clothes and haircuts. Needless to say, the emergence of film of different genre that contributes to the so-called cultural exchange. Globalization affects the use of languages across the world due to the fact that the internet breaks down cultural boundaries, enabling easy communication between people around the world in a variety of digital forms and media. To communicate effectively today, communicating effectively is essential. Communication, verbal or non-verbal, is a tool for building healthy relationships, both personal and professional. In today's electronic age, many people find that email is the easiest way to communicate, yet also the most indirect. The preferred and most effective way of communication is still the spoken word. You may come across eloquently and succinct in an email. However, the individual's initial impression of you doesn't stop there. Whether you pick up the phone, set up the meeting, or walk into the room, expressing and building consistent communication style is an integral step in making lasting impression and building meaningful relationships. Written style and expression, physical presence, what we say, how we say it, and our body languages speaks volumes about our credibility. Global communication today means getting competitive age. Why? This is because today, business is highly competitive. People need to get it right and get it right first. Whether someone is looking for a new supplier, giving a presentation, or negotiating a contract, intercultural communication can, does, and will play an important role. It impacts our ability to communicate effectively within a culture and as well as how we are perceived. Students' exposure to an understanding about global issues and the interconnectivity between nations is paramount in the 21st century. In learning about the nations, students need to acknowledge different points of view and embrace unfamiliar customs. One way to increase students' global awareness is by engaging them in a role play or simulation activity where they can embody themselves as a people from different countries or with beliefs different from their own. For the international school that offers an integration of global awareness in the curriculum with the support and encouragement of United Nations organization, during an intercultural or international role play or simulation activity, students need to clearly express themselves in order to minimize misunderstandings and maximize the consensus building between the nations and the cultures they represent. Students articulate thoughts and ideas effectively and clearly. The most popular first language is Chinese, followed by Spanish and English. However, the most popular second language is undoubtedly English, the lingua franca of globalization. About 35% of the world's emails, telexes, and cables are in English. Approximately 40% of the world's radio programs are in English. And according to the 2010 survey, English is the dominant language on the internet. It also remains clear in business that English competency is a crucial skill in the workplace. A growing number of workers must communicate in English. For the individual employees, they must be skilled in English not only to perform their current job effectively, but also as it relates to their future career advancement, such as promotion. Students like us grow up in a world where we encounter media messages hundreds of times daily, from advertisements on the websites to billboards, TVs, radio, and popular music. As information, technologies, and globalization make global communication and collaboration more ubiquitous, the teachers of RWSL, or reading, writing, speaking, and listening, like you guys, most of you guys here, and media literacy, need to change the way they instruct their students. No longer is it adequate to teach the student just a simple comprehension and then let them do the exercises related to the simple comprehension question. No longer is it sufficient to teach the student composition as if it were just an act of placing written words on papers. No longer is it useful to teach the student to speak or compose a single or standardized English grammar. Instead, an English educator's goal is to equip their students with knowledge of global literacy and how globalization defines and positions the languages, symbols, identities, communities, and futures. An English educator needs to envision the subject of English within the context of global mass mediation, migratory population, and transnational economies. In the future, today's youth like us will be required to actively address the environmental and cultural problems that could have widespread long-term consequences for us and our world. In order for us to be active problem solvers, we need to think with clarity, imagination, and empathy. In the next couple of years, Southeast Asia countries will join together as one, and English will definitely be our official language. Therefore, I am here to encouraging each and every one of you to learn English and have fun with it. Why? Because it enables you to communicate with everyone around the world. Global communication skills satisfy your thirst for knowledge, and there is no better time than now to introduce yourself to the information waiting out there across the globe. Thank you for your precious attention. Enjoy the rest of the day. May God bless us all.